Feel free to bring out your pillows, your props. Again, as we always start a class, we will always begin with a grounding, a few minutes of grounding and the sensory meditation. All right. All right. So we are live. Okay. I hope you can all hear my music once again. Good evening to everyone. Let me just rewind my music. All right. Great. So I request everyone to please join me. Let's sit at the tops of our mats, or rather the center of our mats. Feel free to prop yourself up with a pillow. Roll the shoulders back and down just to relieve some tension. The shoulders, especially if you've been working the entire day today, maybe release the head, rotating here. Maybe do some circles with the torso. Just waking the body up, but not quite. Our goal here is not so much to bring that solar energy or that heat into the body. Or our intention for today is to practice here and the now. Bring ourselves to this moment. All right. So whenever you're ready, let's place our hands on our laps or on our thighs. Gently close the eyes. And let's just pay attention to the breath. If you want to bring your hands on your belly and on your chest, that's fine. If not, feel free to just let them rest wherever they are. And at this point, there may be a million thoughts running in your head, such as, what will I eat for dinner? How many emails must I respond? How will I do my homework? What time will I sleep tonight? All those things. And I invite you to take it easy. Take yourself off these thoughts. Just allow them to pass. Allow them to just flow by. As if you're just watching a movie still. Not paying specific attention. Not really entertaining these thoughts. And anytime you feel that you are observing a thought, just gently go back to the breath. So it's fine to feel distracted. That is actually a good way of knowing and catching yourself. And as you focus on the breath, maybe you can relax the shoulders, relax the face, the lips, the cheeks, the space in between the eyebrows, the eyelids, your forehead, and the crown of your head. So staying here, paying attention to the length of the breath. See if you can inhale and exhale through the nose. Allowing the breath to lengthen as it can without feeling discomfort. Allowing the belly to rise, and then the chest, and then the shoulders. And as you exhale, relax the shoulders, and then the chest, and then the belly. So let's stay here for a couple of breaths. Don't worry, I won't leave you. And then let's slowly bring our attention and consciousness back to the sensations that we feel at this moment. So I invite you to find your anchor. So an anchor is an object, a thought, a sensation that allows you to stay in this moment, stay in this now. So that may be your breath, the touch of the mat against your skin, your clothing, the temperature of the room, my voice. So decide which one works for you. Just before we open our eyes for today's practice, I just want to share with you one of the sutras from the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. So that text, that's a spiritual text, is considered as one of the pillars of yoga. And I'm gonna share with you the first sutra, or aphorism, which is, quote unquote, now the practice of yoga begins. And then it sets forth to discuss how we can live a life of yoga and how we can practice it. But beyond that, let's focus instead on the first word, which is now. So now, at this moment, we practice yoga by focusing on the present, letting go of habits, of outcomes, of expectations. We practice yoga. And in this moment, we can allow ourselves to decide how to think, how to act, and how to treat ourselves and others. So with that, let's bring our hands in prayer, still with the eyes closed. Gently rub the palms together. Maybe slowly generating heat. And then let's bring our palms over the eyes and allow the eyes to open beneath our palms, allowing the eyes to absorb this energy. Close the eyes once again. Let's rub the palms. And instead of, how we do in our usual practice where we rub our palms towards the entire body, why don't we instead place our palms out in front of us and share that energy forward towards others, towards the earth. Imagine that there is energy and light coming from our palms. Bring our palms together. Let's slowly flutter our eyes open. Namaste. Good evening. I bow down to you. All right, so let's begin our practice for moon salutation. For today, we'll only be doing 2 sequences. So the first one is a modified version of the moon salutation. And then the second one will be the contemporary moon salutation. All right, so with that, let's begin. You can remove your props, just put them to the side, but prepare or have your blocks with you or your pillows. So let's start first at the right side of our mat. So throughout the entire practice, our movements will be more on the side plane of the body. So I'm going to face you through the long edge of the mat, all right? And contrary again to the sun salutation, here we are cultivating our lunar energy and activating the parasympathetic nervous system. Right, so let me just admit to people. All right. Let me know if you can hear me, hear the music. Feel free to chat or place your comments in the chat box. All right, good. So at any comfortable position, you can come here, you can come in a kneeling position. Let's place our arms up. No need for the hands to go overhead, maybe just above the chest or above the nose. Let's take an inhale here. Exhale, let's bend towards the right side, really lengthening the side of the body. And maybe we can gaze towards the left elbow or the corner of the room, staying here for a couple of breaths. Allowing the sit bones to still ground on the mat. Release this time towards the left side, bending and extending the right side of the body. I know that each side differs. One side may feel tighter, that's fine. No need to do equal movements with each side. And let's release. Let's now move towards the center of the mat. Open the legs in a modified version of your Upavishta Konasana or wide-legged forward fold. So instead of folding here, just opening the legs, mimicking goddess pose, which is the third pose in the sequence. Let's bring our hands to a T, palms facing in front. And instead of rolling the sit bones forward, see if you can tuck the tailbone in, slightly engaging the core. So strong here, staying strong and lifted through the spine. Pelvis is open for a few breaths. And let's release. Okay, let's get on to our knees and do our gate pose. So right knee stacks under our right pelvis and our left foot is extended towards the left side. So we're forming a nice 90-degree angle. And I would like to treat this as part of our modification for Trikonasana for triangle pose. Okay. So from here, feel free to microbend this left knee. We're going to place our palms towards the inside of the left foot and extend the right arm up. So we want to feel long in this pose. Again, we're not bending on the spine, we're bending through the hip. So allow the hip to slightly hike, giving you room to place your hand towards the inside of your left foot. Maybe you can gaze towards your thumb as you bring your arm up. Not forgetting to breathe. Not being overly concerned with your shape. And release. This time, we're gonna fold forward. So let's bring ourselves to a half split. So if you notice, I pivot my right foot. So now both my hips are facing the short edge of the mat. Tense the fingertips or plant them and elongate the spine. Allow the left leg to microbend as you wish. Breathing forward. Where our gaze goes, our energy goes. Taking note of the hips, see if there is any imbalance or hiking of the hips. If you can plug in the left leg, magnetizing both legs together. And from here, let's take our lowlands. So let's slightly shift forward, bending the left knee, untucking the back toe and lifting the arms up. Up to you if you wish to sink your hips deeper or keep it neutral. It's totally up to you. This is your practice. Low lunge or Anjaneyasana in Sanskrit. Okay, good. Now here we'll do a side lunge. So you can help yourself with your arms, or if you want to prop yourself with a block. So pivot or roll on the back foot as you sink the hips here. So now we're facing the long edge of the mat. This is our side lunge, Skandasana. You're free to bring your hands together in prayer or set your hands, up to you. Maybe you can microbend the right knee if making it straight places some strain on your ligaments. Good. Now let's shift our weight towards the center of the mat. Heel to the feet in together. Let's do our malasana or yogic squat. So sinking the hips once again. Maybe you can shift from side to side, opening the groin, maybe releasing some tension in the hips. If you wish to like dip or straighten the legs, feel free to do that now. Malasana or garland pose or yogic squat. All right, so in the same way that we reverse the cycle of the poses in sun salutations, we also do that for this contemporary version. So the last pose we did before this is the side lunge. We'll be doing that this time on the other side. So extend the left foot towards the side, plant the right, and sink down. If you wish to balance on the balls of the foot, feel free to do that as well. So find your variation, the modification that works for you. Focusing on the now. Let's go to our Anjaneyasana or low lunge. This time doing it on the other short side of the mat. Arms overhead, gently and softly. Finding ease in your effort. Plant the back heel, back toe. So let's go to our half split. So this stands in for our Parshvattanasana or pyramid pose. Again, there may be a tendency for the hips to sway on one side or the other. So maybe allow the front leg to plug in on the pelvis or in the hip, protecting the knee. Lengthening the spine. And let's release. So this time we'll pivot the left foot towards the back. Lengthen the right leg towards the side to stand in for our Trikonasana or triangle pose. So we can bring the arms out to a T. Lengthen the spine towards the right, and then let's place the hand towards the inside of the right foot. Other arm extends upwards. So again, feel free to micro bend the right knee here. It might not be comfortable for you to extend it. You may place some strain on the ankles or on the knee. So find extension here, bending from the hip. And release. Let's get back to our Upavishta Konasana or the modified version. Legs out wide, bend the knees, arms out to a T, mimicking our goddess pose. Slightly roll the tailbone towards the back, so as if we're tucking that tailbone and engaging the core. I swear this will all make sense when we do the standing version. Just prepping you all up, since the moon salutations can be intense for the hips and the joints. And release. Now let's go back to the left side of the mat. Take your seated pose. Let's do the side bend once again. Okay. This time starting from the right. And then the left side. You feel free to close your eyes if you wish to do that. And release. So that is the modified full sequence of the moon salutation, or rather the half of it. So what we did there is to start from the front edge of the mat all the way to the back. And then now what we'll do is from the back, go to the front. So we're repeating those cycles. If you're able to count, there are 14 vinyasas or poses here to mimic the number of phases of the moon. Whereas the sun salutations have 12 to mimic the 12 zodiac signs. All right, so that's one of the ways you can think about it. All right. So let's now start again at the back side of the mat here. No need to memorize. I'll guide you all through it. Arms up. Start from the left side, bending here or swaying your palm tree. Right side now. Release. Let's mimic our goddess pose. So we're now at the center of the mat. Really engaging the quads here. Opening your wingspan and then bending your elbows. Gently release. Let's take our gate pose. So if you notice, you're reversing the last part of the cycle we did earlier. Taking note of your modification here. If you wish to use blocks, feel free to plant one towards the inside of your right foot. So Trikonasana or triangle pose, which is the one we'll do later, can be very tricky for people. It can also be inaccessible. So I wish that you get comfortable in using props in your practice. Release. Now let's do our Parashvatanasana variation, half splits. Lengthen the spine. If you wish to fold deeper, feel free to plant your palms, gaze forward, sending the energy where your gaze is. Release your Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Feel free to circle the arms. If you wish to add a back bend, feel free to do so. Just be mindful of your range. And release, side lunge this time. Guide yourselves. This can be tricky. And if you do moon salutations quite rapidly or in a faster manner, you'll notice that it takes a lot of mobility to transition in and out of your posture. Let me just unmute. All right. From here, take your Malasana, yogic squat. If you wish to maybe bring the feet wider or closer, that's fine. Skandasana this time, left side. I prefer adding a micro bend to my knee since it takes a lot of stretching in the hamstrings to straighten it. So I don't want to strain them too much. Anjaneyasana, this time towards the left side. So I call this the low lunge, but you can also call this your crescent lunge since it sort of mimics the crescent shape of the moon, depending on your back bend. Again, it's optional for you to add this. If you wish to just straighten the arms up, that's totally fine. Release, plant the back toe. Let's shift to the back as we take our half splits, Ardha Hanumanasana. Magnetizing both hip bones together. The right leg comes a bit forward and the left plugs towards the back. Gate pose on the right side. Take your time here. Again, feel free to use your props or your blocks to give you height as you take your variation of triangle pose. And release. Let's take our asana or goddess pose variation. This time again, I know it looks weird. But this is a good way to open the hips. Actively open the hips without any passive support. Hope you're all feeling good and calm. And then now towards the right side, any seated pose. Let's bring the arms up, starting with the left. Bend, swaying the palm towards the left. Shooting energy from the fingertips and now towards the right side. So feel free to sway also your hips on the opposite side to get rid of that strain you're feeling in your side body. And nice, hands in prayer. So that ends the first sequence. Feel free to take any restorative pose that you wish to take, maybe a child's pose or any lying pose, prone pose. And then we'll begin our second practice, which is the full version of the moon salutations, right? So maybe it has been quite a lot with the hips. So maybe you'd like to bring yourself in a prone pose, or maybe just all the way to your prone. Allow yourself to catch your breath. Again, focusing on the now, maybe recalling our anchors. So in restful moments, we find ourselves contemplating on what we need to do or what we did. So I invite you to take on that challenge of just staying in the moment, even when it's silent. Not allowing any objects or thoughts to overrun our mind, that mind chatter. And whenever you're ready, let's stand towards the right side of the mat. How are you all, ladies? Hope you're all good. Right, sorry, I can't see everyone. Need to be in spotlight mode. Okay, nice. All right, so let's start at the right side of the mat this time, where the moon is in my Flow Manila yoga mat. So I'm starting here. So we'll do everything we did earlier, but now we're standing up, okay? So if you have any questions, just let me know. All right. Let's raise the arms up in our standing palm tree. Bending towards the right. Feel free to sway the hips towards the left. Maybe gaze upwards. Feel free to take as many breaths or as long as you wish. Release this time towards the left. And release now. We will be sort of kicking the left leg towards the left side so that we're in our center. Taking a slight squat here in our goddess pose, Devyasana. So both feet are pointing at an angle, maybe at the corners of the mat or corners of the room, arms in goal pose position. So imagine that there is light emitting from the center of your palms and you're sending all that energy towards the earth. You are a goddess here. You see to sit down, slightly maintaining that tuck in your tailbone. And release arms to a T right now. Pivot the left foot in. left leg, right leg is still where it is. And let's shift towards the right side. Allow the right hand to fall inside of the foot and the left arm to extend. So this is your Trikonasana or triangle pose. So from where we were earlier in our gate pose, find how you can apply your biomechanics there or how you were able to get into the pose. Again, feel free to micro-bend that right knee. Find extension here. We are bending from the hip, not from our torso. And maybe you can also gaze towards the thumbs of your fingers, of your left hand rather. Good, now let's gaze towards the foot. Plant both palms, framing the right foot, and slowly pivoting the right foot further so that now maybe the angle of the foot is 45 degrees, right? Let's gaze forward, lengthening the spine in our Parsvatanasana or pyramid pose. If you wish to fold deeper, feel free to do so. Magnetizing both hip bones together. And release. Let's take our low lunge. So feel free to heel toe your back foot. Untuck the toes and lift up your Anjaneyasana, crescent lunge. You can think of yourself as finding freedom in this pose. And as with freedom, there is peace, so no need to extend your range so much. Just allow yourself to stay comfortable and light in this pose. Now let's transition to our Skandasana, slow lunge. Right. You can bring the palms in prayer. If you wish to bring your shoulder close to your knee and maybe plant the right arm diagonally, feel free to do so. Really opening the body here. Release. Let's take our Malasana, shifting now towards the center of the mat. You need to heel toe the feet closer, sinking the hips. Garland pose. If this is uncomfortable for you, feel free to sit on a block here. And you'll find a lot of comfort in that while still maintaining the engagement in your glutes, in your groin. Now let's reverse that process. This time, Skandasana on the left side. Extend the right leg out, hands in prayer, or if you wish to sort of bind, feel free to do so. Now let's go to our Anjaneyasana, this time left side. Let's sink that hip. Untuck the back toes, lift the arm. I know at this point there may be some tensions in the hips, so this sequence is quite hip-y, if you ask me. So that's why we had to do with the modifications at the start. Shifting back your pyramid pose. So plant the right foot. So this time we're standing, balancing on both feet. If you wish to have more height, you feel this time to place your blocks, framing them around the feet, and maybe allow the palms to rest. So when I say that there may be a swaying in the hips, so if you look at me, the hips may look this way if we're plugging the back foot in too much. So I wish that you plug in the other leg. So baliktad. We're like magnetizing both the hips together, all right? So we maintain a neutral stance here. It may hurt the knee if we have a different stance. All right, good. From there, you're just going to plant the left palm, unpivot the back foot. So now slightly 90 degrees or 75 degrees, and lift the right arm up, Trikonasana, triangle pose. Good. Find elongation here and length. Feel free to micro bend your knee, but keep the left foot strong. Again, if you wish to use a block, feel free to do that. So you can imagine also that you're leaning against the wall here. Release. So from here, we'll be doing our Deviyasana. So just step in the feet. Both toes are pointing at an angle, so we're back to the center this time. Goalpost hands. If you wish to sink deeper, feel free to do so. Don't forget to breathe. Now from here, we're going to step towards the left side of the mat, bending towards the right. Taking in this moment towards the left. And release. So that is one round for one side. Let's do the other side. Again, one side may feel different for you. It may feel tighter, it may feel looser. So don't feel pressured to do the same exact variation for each side, all right? So you have your props with you, you have your pillows with you. You can do the sequence we did earlier at the start. You have all these options, so feel free to take that option that really works for your body and for your range, okay? Right, so whenever you're ready, let's start again. This time left, moving all the way to the right. Bring our arms up, swaying palms from the left. Feel free to sway the hips to the right as well. Focusing your gaze, maybe this time towards the palms. Shifting sides. Deviyasana. Let's bring the right foot, stepping it towards the center now. Goddess pose. Triangle pose, so we can pass through our 5-pointed star first. Pivot the right foot in, slightly hiking the hips as we lean towards the left and place our left hand inside. So you may gaze at the thumb. Imagine that you are leaning, opening the body. If your Trikonasana feels like you are collapsing, feel free to use a block. I prefer using a block than placing the hand on the knee, since the knee is a very insufferable joint. So find openness on your right breast, on your right chest. Release. Parasympathetic. So slightly pivoting the back heel further. No pressure here. Allow yourself to relax. Micro bend those knees. Take your props. Release. Crescent lunge, Anjaneyasana. So you may adjust your stance here if you feel that your knees are not safe. They may be feeling any discomfort. Feel free to shorten or lengthen your stance as necessary. If you have a towel, feel free to place that towel underneath the right knee. Slightly engaging the glutes here, hugging the hips. Skandasana, so we're opening now towards the front or the long edge of the mat. Good. Also, if this is slightly making you uncomfortable in the hips and in the knees, feel free to sit on your block. No harm in using props or allowing it to assist you in your practice. Option to stay here, option to bind if that's in your practice. Let's go to our yogic squat, Malasana. I'm bringing my props all the way with me. Don't forget to breathe. If you wish to bring your palms on the knees, that's fine. If you wish to plant them on the mat, that's also fine. Anjaneyasana, or rather, Skandasana, so it's the right side. If you wish to balance on the balls of the right foot, you are most welcome to do so. Really explore here, find which works for you. Now let's proceed to our Anjaneyasana. Crescent lunge. Again, engaging the left glute, allowing it to neutralize the hips, allowing the back leg to slightly come forward. Let's tuck the back toes and lift up to our Parashvatanasana. Pyramid pose. As you can see, we're like forming a pyramid here based on the shape of the legs. Keeping the spine long, really using blocks here makes all the difference. Feel free to also place them in the highest height possible. And you can feel an opening in the chest and even maybe in your ribs or in your armpits. Let's pivot the back heel open this time for our Trikonasana. So I'm using a block here, slightly shifting my hips so that my hips are facing the front and releasing the arms towards the sky. Really, if you're using props, allow your shoulders to push against the props, pushing against the block. Let's take that block away for our Devyasana. Sinking the hips, bending the knees. If you want to do a mudra with your goddess pose, feel free to do so. So the last mudra I taught was the Yoni mudra. If you wish to do this again, feel free to do so. Step towards the right side of the mat this time. Lifting the arms, left side bend. Remembering that where your gaze goes, your energy goes. Now towards the right, sending the hips towards the left. And of course, feel free to micro-bend the knees here if there's any discomfort. You can imagine also that you are being pulled up. You're being picked as if you were a fruit. And release. Let's do our Tadasana. Standing here, grounding the feet. Feel free to roll the shoulders back and down. Good. How are you all feeling? So that is the sequence. That is actually the entire sequence. And maybe before we just close this class, I know that was maybe not the best sweat you've had this week, but that's not anyway our goal. We can explore moving to the beat, all right? So I have here a track. We can do the moon salutations with the beat of this song. Okay, so parang inside flow, but not. Okay, I'm not certified to teach inside flow, but I just wanted to play this music and allow you to move as you wish based on the song. So maybe 2 counts per pose, 4 counts per pose. Take it as slow as you like. And maybe explore adding your own flair, adding your own style. If you wish to do it traditionally, rigid, composed, that's fine. If you want to add more choreo or whatever, feel free to do that. So allow your own lunar energy to shine through. All right, so you can begin at any moment. If you want to join me, if you're not able to memorize the sequence, that's fine. Okay. Just for me, I'm gonna start after this beat. If you want to join me, but feel free to do it at your own pace. Starting at the right, I'm going to bend towards the right. 2, 3, 4. Left side. Of course, I welcome you to do it as you wish on your own. Maybe you can close your eyes. Just take in the song, take in the beat. Who's doing with me? Parasympathetic. Asana. You can transition slowly or fast, depending on your priority. Malasana. Skandasana. Parshvottanasana. Anjaneyasana. Sorry. Parshvottanasana. Trikonasana. Devyasana. Palm tree, left side. Right side. Okay, good. If you want to do the other side, feel free to do so. Replay the song, and then we'll close the practice. Okay. Don't worry, I'm opening you in gallery mode, but you won't be seen in the camera or in the Facebook Live. All right? Feel free to start whenever you want. Maybe for this side, you can add your own style na talaga. Sorry. No problem. For me, I'm a very flowy person. So if you want to imitate me, go ahead. If you want to add my style to yours, you can do that. We'll start in the next beat if you want. I understand it's not easy to follow the beat. Left side. 2, 3, my dog is 4, slowly transitioning towards the right, imagining that you are a swing palm. Release the arms, step towards your Devi asana, slowly sinking down. Trikonasana, left side. Parshvatanasana. Crescent lunge. I like circling my arms really slowly. Skandasana. Maybe you can bring your arms to eagle. Maybe you can bind if you wish to do that. Malasana. Skanda, right. Slow lunge. Parshvatanasana, lift the back leg up, lengthening the spine, magnetizing the hips. Maybe you would like to fold deeper. Trikonasana, unfurling the left arm towards the sky. Preparing for your Devyasana. Take it to the right side. Palm tree sways to the right. And release. Very good. So you can stay standing. If you wish to take any comfortable seat, feel free to do so. So I advise that we sit on a block or on a pillow, the same way we came in for this practice. Feel free to catch your breath. If that may be sweaty somehow, feel free to get your water, drink your water. All right, so to end this class, you are free to do any resting pose as you wish. So that may be the full Shavasana, if you wish to sit down, if you want to lie down. If you just wish to sit down and maybe rest your front body. I know we did a lot of extension of the spine. If you want to counter stretch now, feel free to just stay here. If you want to do your prone pose, if you just want to face the mat, if you want to do your child's pose, feel free to do that. So I'll give you your options and I'll give you time to take that. Feel free to find which works for you, which speaks peace. Feel free to take your asana. And whenever you're ready, I will be closing the music so that we can meditate in silence. All right? I'll be slowly cueing you. Feel free to close your eyes. Relaxing the face, relaxing the body. You feel free to release your breath. Relaxing the shoulders, the neck, the jaw, and your lips. Maybe allow them to part. Allow the tongue to fall from the roof of the mouth. Relax the nose, the cheeks, the eyelids. See if you can soften the area in between the eyebrows. We may be holding tension there. Release the forehead and the eyebrows and the crown of the head. And allow yourselves to be absorbed by your anchor, by the now. I know at this point, Shavasana makes us think about what you could have done in the pose, or about how I want to do that pose again, and all our other concerns. But just ground yourself, stay here. Again, I will read to you the sutra that I started with today. That is, now the practice of yoga begins. So I will stay silent. I'll give you around 2 minutes for your Shavasana, whatever pose. Namaste. slowly and still with the eyes closed. Regain awareness back to the body and the mind. Wherever you are, you can release your hands and wiggle the toes and the fingertips. Shake your elbows and your knees. Maybe give yourself a gentle stretch. May it be with the arms overhead or the arms to the side. Arms clasped behind you. And then find your way to a comfortable seat. Thank you all for joining me in today's practice. Hope you learned a lot from the known salutations. Bring the hands in prayer. Bring it towards the forehead for kind thoughts. Towards the mouth for kind words. And towards the heart for kind intentions. Acknowledging that practice of where we are now. And at any point in or outside of the mat that you want to say, tell, act, or think about something, you focus on the now. We also focus on the effect that we want to give, the truth, and compassion for ourselves, for others. Thank you once again. Bow down. Good evening. Namaste. Feel free to open your eyes. Thank you all for joining me. Yay! Hope you all had a peaceful practice. So it may not have been good, it may not have been bad, it is what it is. All right, so before we end, thank you, Jen. Let's close our practice. Thank you, Nico and Arnie, with a photo. So I'll be shifting to gallery mode, so we might be seen. All right. Okay, whenever you're ready, take our photo. Feel free to smile, do your mudra, do your hand gesture, whatever. Kita na yung ano ko. Okay. Sige. All right. Smile. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Ay, si G. Ayan. Sorry, I'll put her. Papasok ko siya kasi baka gusto niya sumama sa photo. G, are you here? Picture tayo.
Grabe ka, nilabas mo daw si G.
Hindi! Ayan. Ayan. Alright, isa pa. For G. 1, 2, 3. Alright, thank you all, ladies. Bye-bye. Good evening.
Thank you, Mom.
Thank you.